Guys, we have to do the 4th of July recipe.
If y'all can come up with a really good 4th of July recipe, I'm all for that.
Let's do just like a potato salad. But we don't have to do that. We could do like a blueberry raspberry cheesecake or some shit if you want. I don't know.
I mean, we could even call this like a cheesecake tart.
Raspberry, blueberry, tart.
Yeah. It's gonna be a pastry crust, like a pie crust, custard inside, and something red and something blue on top.
Okay, so red, white, and blue cheesecake. We pretty much know how we're going to build the cheesecake.
Do we?
I think.
Do we?
Yes, with cheesecake.
Do we need another base, like a graham cracker?
So with yes, wheat cheesecake, it has a pretty good graham note to begin with. If you want it to be a heavy graham cheesecake, then yes, you have to add some other kind of graham to it. But it carries a pretty decent graham cracker with it.
So basically, yes, they cheesecake, but no, they don't graham crust.
Okay, so Graham, you had mentioned Flavor West yogurt with that cheesecake.
Yeah, I think it just daps it up with where yes, we cheesecake. It's like a perfect addition.
So you're saying that the Flavor West yogurt kind of does the same thing as is it what Hanson's Italian cream or something?
Yeah,
like that?
kind of.
For me, we need a cookie flavor.
You know?
Yeah, that was where I was thinking the cannoli shell would come in. Cannoli shell's cookie to me, basically.
Yeah,
It's like a bad cookie though.
Yeah,
you could always use just TFA graham crust.
I'm really not that thrilled with TPA graham crust, or for that matter, cheesecake graham crust.
Okay, we can use Jungle Flavors biscuit.
Could you say that again?
Yeah, one more time.
Jungle Flavors biscuit.
Okay.
There you go.
If I have to choose for this between Inawera or Jungle Flavors, I go with Jungle Flavors because it's less
every time
buttery, and we don't need any butter for the cheesecake.
Do you think that the Jungle Flavors biscuit is going to translate into a pastry crust instead of a graham crust?
You know what? Maybe their cookie would work better.
Yeah.
I think that if anything, what I would end up wanting is just a little bit of premium custard in here.
I think that's an excellent idea. That premium custard just really fills that cheesecake out.
But you might not need it with the Flavor West yogurt.
Yeah, so the yogurt is there just to add a little bit of like sourness, basically, right?
Yeah.
What if we use the premium custard for more to fill it out, and not use that Flavor West yogurt to try to fill it out?
If we use both, it's going to be too heavy.
If this was a cream recipe, I'd go more in the yogurt way. But since if we have texture, I think we should go with the premium custard.
We're going to have the cheesecake. What is the blue one? What is the red?
Cherry.
Cherry's not going to work out in this recipe.
Blueberry, raspberry.
Oh, dude, yeah.
So we want to make the raspberry kind of a jammy kind of syrup, and then a fleshy kind of blueberry on top.
Flavor West blueberry.
Do we want a real blueberry?
I'm almost thinking like macerated blueberries and raspberries on top.
Like Wonder Flavor blueberry jam. Is that what you're saying? That kind?
Or Flavor West raspberry.
That could work.
So we can use the Flavor West raspberry, and then add a very fresh, fleshy blueberry. The raspberry is jammy. It's
kind of syrupy.
If we go with that one, and then we add a blueberry that we can combine with a bilberry, we're going to have a very good contrast between both of them. Okay, definitely. So percentages.
Yes, with cheesecake, 4%. What do y'all think about the premium custard?
1% top.
Or 9.
Yeah, 1% sounds good.
Jungle Flavors cookie.
Yeah, over 1.5%, I think it
starts to get funky. Yeah.
So 1% is good.
Raspberry. Flavor West.
Raspberry, we can go high with it.
I don't know, 2.
More 3.
Okay, 3.
3%.
Yeah.
Flavor West blueberry.
Are we really using Flavor West blueberry? I was thinking Flavor boysenberry, but
We could use boysenberry. If we were gonna do boysenberry, I think we should get rid of the bilberry and like use like FA raspberry.
What I would like to have is the raspberry and the blueberry to be separate. And the way to do that is to have different textures from it. The raspberry is already syrupy, so I think we should try to have a very fresh and fleshy blueberry.
Okay, so the problem is with using Flavor West blueberry, FA bilberry, and Flavor West raspberry, that combination might come off a little too much of a candy topping on top of a cheesecake, which could work in a cream, but it might not work in a bakery. All right, boysenberry and raspberry then.
If we go Flavora boysenberry and we do Flavor West raspberry, do you also want to add another raspberry?
The blueberry is going to be way more dominant. The blue is going to be a lot more in your face.
Unless you add a raspberry to level that out, to bring the red out of raspberry.
So if we're using the Flavora boysenberry, that's so dominant that whatever raspberry that we use is going to be lost in it. So we were kind of discussing what we could use to bolster that raspberry with.
The raspberry that's in
raspberry.
Let's just try this and see what it needs.
Let's do it. Okay, so we're using 4% Inawera Yes We Cheesecake, using 1% FA Premium Custard, using 1% Jungle Flavors Cookie, 0.5% Flavora Boysenberry, 3% Flavor West Raspberry. Okay, so this is our red, white, and blue cheesecake. First, we're going to start out with Flavora Boysenberry at 0.5%. Next, we have Jungle Flavors Cookie at 1%. Next, we're putting in Flavor Art Premium Custard at 1%. Next, we're adding Flavor West Raspberry at 3%. And last but not least, we're using Inawera Yes We Cheesecake at 4%. What do y'all think?
For me, it's almost perfect. The cheesecake is very dense and rich, and I love it. And the topping is very yummy and syrupy. I would like to have something more bright, more fresh in it.
I think that for a first version, this is about as perfect as you're going to get. To me, it's not really a cheesecake, it's more of a tart. And the boysenberry and the raspberry together, I don't get a whole lot of separation from it, but that's okay because it's just so good.
I really, really enjoy this recipe. I really think that we wasted so much time on the topping because those two flavors really did work out really well. You got the brightness from a candied berry blend with the Flavor West raspberry, and then you have that Flavora boysenberry, which really jams it up and darkens it up and makes it way more natural. It kind of bends that raspberry back into a more natural flavor. And my favorite part is how well Yes We Cheesecake and Custard Premium work well together. The only part that I think needs a little bit of adjusting is basically back in line with what Chef said. I want it to be a little bit more bright, and I think maybe a little bit more red. It's so weird that taking those two, it really does come off as like a a thicker syrup.
It's like when you actually have in the top of the cheesecake or the tart the the jammy part and also the fruit.
So, do y'all think that this is
No.
a finished recipe then?
The only thing we need to worry about is just making it a little bit more red.
I wouldn't touch the cheesecake or the berries.
Adding a strawberry would probably do that.
Which one?
What about maybe just lifting it and adding a lemon? I was thinking FE lemon at like a quarter.
Ugh.
FE lemon here is perfect because if you use any other lemon, it's going to sit on top of the berries, and we need something that goes right inside that mix.
Mm,
So let's try with 0.25% Fe lemon.
2,000 years later.
I don't
Everyone
like it.
used to say I was. You don't like it?
Don't. No,
It's not bad. I think I like it more before.
you're crazy. I'm in a hard disagree with you.
I like it better with the lemon. But not for the reasons that you might think. So with the first version, the topping part to me was a little fruit heavy. And what the lemon does for me, and I know this sounds weird, but it seems to smooth it out some.
Kind of balances them.
Yeah, it kind of destroys that separation a little bit. But to me, it's kind of smooths it out. It's like a bridge between the two fruits.
What about the cheesecake and the cookie?
I think it definitely destroys the cookie.
I think both of them are equally good in different ways.
Yeah, this one, the flavor is great, but it's not what I had in the other one. In the other one, I had the cookie, I had the cheesecake, very clear, and the toppings.
I can agree that the cookie, the bakery component is a little bit more muted.
I don't think the lemon did what I thought it was going to do, and it didn't really brighten the berries.
No, I can see that for sure.
In a tart, you're gonna have very little. You're gonna have very little. It's mainly cream, like filling, a little bit of a pastry note, and then just a touch of fruit, which we got a little bit more fruit than I guess you would want, but it's a vape. I think you're gonna want more fruit. The part that stands for me is that this does accurately represent that part that I have in my mind, where it's not really a shortbread. It's more of like a. It does remind me of that. Like it's weird how like now that I smell Jungle Flavors cookie, I can see how you could pull that out of that flavor. So I do get that. I almost just want to add more to it, to the lemon version.
But you don't get it in the first version without the lemon. I mean, you get the cookie in the first version.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that one's a little unbalanced.
Okay, let me try 0.5% more of cookie. Okay, I like it, but it is more dark.
I agree. It buries a lot of the other shit. I don't know. I think I like it the original way.
So we've made basically 3 different versions.
Mhm.
The first version was Flavora Boysenberry 0.5%, JF Cookie at 1%, FA Premium Custard at 1%, Flavor West Raspberry at 3%, Cap Super Sweet 0.25%, and Anywhere Yes Sweet Cheesecake at 4%. On the second version, we kept everything the same, except we added FE Lemon at 0.25%. It's just as good. Some of us like it better. Some of us like the first version better, but I think we all can agree that they're both good. We also did a version that we increased the Jungle Flavors cookie by 0.5%, which that would be at 1.5% on the JF cookie. And I kind of like that, but it did make it darker. So if you want to make it darker, you can add the Jungle Flavors cookie to it at 1.5%. But as a base, I think the first version is our best one.
All right, guys, check out this finished recipe. All the links are going to be in the description, and we'll see you guys again on Thursday. All right, there. But fuck. All right, well, I think this recipe is about wrapped up. There's a lot of different ways that you guys could play around with it. Add the lemon if you like it. If you don't, I think it's good without it. But no, you don't like that, Chef. All right, so we got and check out the recipe and all the links in the description. Follow our Instagram. Yeah, that's it. See you guys on Tuesday. Is it Thursday? Fuck. Fuck. All right, guys, check out this finished recipe. Play around with it if you like. I really like the berry. Why am I overthinking it? All right, check out this recipe. All the links are going to be in the description, and mix it up if you guys. Why do I do that? All right, there you go, guys. We had a pretty good. Oh, fuck. Happy 4th of July.
And for you.